So today, humble listeners, our tale takes us deep into the heart of the town and its protector. We will witness the convergence of magic and nature, the harmony they create, and the peace they bring. Join us as we journey into the world of Adriela, a world where the essence of magic is understanding and where the harmony can heal even the deepest wounds. Welcome to Adriela's Harmony. Begin. Within the cobblestone labyrinth that forms the heart of Canlock, nestled between the humble structures of the rustic dwellings and the busy marketplace, resides a figure of awe and mystery. Adriela, an elf of radiant beauty and uncanny wisdom, basks in the aura of arcane magic that surrounds her. She is a keeper of ancient secrets, a curator of lost arts, and the youngest to bear the mantle of mage in the history of Canlock. Understanding the essence of the universe is akin to understanding the language of magic. They are both the raw, primal forces that set the world in motion, the perpetual dance of creation and destruction. Drained by her relentless day in her sanctum, her eyes tired from tracing the intricate curves of arcane symbols and experimenting with new spells, Adriela steps out of the gentle twilight. The town is a picture of serene activity, underlined by the steady hum of life. And as she strolls through the narrow alleyways, her eyes, sparkling with the soft glow of magic, absorb the vibrant tableau of life unfurling around her. Good evening, Thalorin. The clang of the anvil has been particularly rhythmic today. Have the fires at the forge kept you busy? Her tranquil journey through the winding alleyway is abruptly disturbed by the haunting cry that spirals out of the depth of the nearby forest. The effect is immediate and unsettling. The town falls into a hushed silence, a shroud of fear descending upon it. But in the heart of this frightened stillness, Adriela's violet eyes are aflame, not with fear, but with determined resolve. Stay calm, folks. I'll look into this. This is a good opportunity to test out some of my new spells too. So, into the heart of the vast wild forest, Adriela ventured, the crunching of leaves and the gentle murmur of the nocturnal forest acting as a guiding symphony. Each step she took with deliberate and intentional, the soft ground beneath her boots imprinting with the weight of her resolve. The muted rustle of leaves underfoot resonated with her heartbeat, her every breath marrying the rhythm of the forest around her. Adriela was not just walking, she was treading through the tapestry of nature, becoming one of its cycles, its breath, its pulse. She was treading on the edge of the ethereal, her soul resonating with the life essence coursing through her veins of the woodland around her. Her body moved in a trance-like rhythm, eyes closed, hands gently brushing against the rough bark of the trees that she passed. Every contact, every sensation was infused with a silent invocation, drawing from the reservoir of her inherent magical energy. The forest sensed her intent, responding to her with a vibrational hum that resonated through her very bone marrow. She was casting protective spells, unseen forces dancing on her fingertips, the ancient symbols etched into the air with a soft glow that illuminated her path. Her aura grew stronger, radiant with a mystic strength, pulsating with an energy that felt as old as the forest itself. But her preparations weren't ready for battle. No, Adriela was not gearing up for combat. She was readying herself for something more profound. An understanding, a communication of spirits, a connection that went far beyond the realm of physical combat and delved into the unseen layers of existence. Her every breath was whispered to the forest, a plea for guidance and protection, a promise for respect and reverence. And as she ventured deeper, was not just a mage in the forest, she was the forest itself, an integral part of the universal rhythm that pulsed around her. With a deep breath, Adriela centered herself, opening her senses to the magic that thrums through the air, through the earth beneath her feet, and most importantly, within herself. Find protect us. As Adriela speaks the incantation, her words hang in the air, shimmering with raw energy. The world around her seems to pause as through anticipation, and then a torrent of magic bursts forth from her, a green glow radiating from her form, her eyes aglow with the same emerald luminescence. Let the forest lend me its strength, let its secrets be my shield. Her plea reverberates throughout the forest, her magic reaches out like tendrils, entwining with the essence of nature. The trees answer her call, their energy mingling with its own. She can feel the strength of ancient oaks, the resilience of holly, the flexibility of willow. She feels the pulse of the forest in her veins, its wisdom filling her mind. She is one with the forest, and the forest is one with her. The energy swells around her, wrapping her in an ethereal cloak of emerald light. It seeps into her, nourishing her, healing her, empowering her. It's not just a magic, it's a communion, a harmonious union of nature and the arcane. And then as the spell begins to settle, her eyes open, now glowing with the inner light. She stands taller, the strength of the forest coursing through her. But this magic doesn't merely shield her, it binds her to nature, creating a pact of mutual protection. In defending herself, she defends the forest, and in her stand, the forest stands with her. She's now ready, shielded and empowered. She's more than a mage now. She's a protector, an embodiment of the bond between the arcane and the natural world. The further she plunged into the thicket, the more palpable the atmosphere grew, and the taste of fear and despair tangibly sour on her tongue. The air grew dense, the usual songs of nocturnal creatures replaced with a chilling silence. There was a wrongness that penetrated the very air she breathed, a discord in the symphony of nature. And then suddenly from the silence there was a faint whisper, but filled with dread. She froze, her senses prickling in alarm, and then she heard it, the stench of dead growing stronger, an undercurrent of pain and fear piercing the forest's harmony. Just around the bend lay a heart-wrenching scene. A small caravan once filled with merriment and hopes of merchants now stood as a haunting tableau of the tragedy. The victims were strewn about like discarded puppets, their bodies twisted in torment, their eyes wide with a terror that even the night couldn't extinguish. Her heart clenched at the sight. She was no stranger to the horrors that lurked within the shadows, but the stark reality of it never failed to shake her. Pushing past the internal shock, she moved swiftly towards the injured travelers. She knelt beside them, her hands extended over their battered bodies. She whispered an incantation, her voice steady despite the swirling chaos around her. She called upon her powers, her hands ignited with a soft ethereal glow, casting a gentle soothing light over the grim scene. A healing spell flowered from her like a warm stream. She could feel the pull of the pain, the sting of the wounds. She let it drive her magic to mend their broken bodies. Curi Sanctum, let your wounds heal. Let the pain fade. You'll be all right. Their gasps of pain subsided, replaced with soft exhales of relief as their wounds had healed. Their bodies relaxed, their tension melting under Adriella's magical ministrations. While she could not erase the horror they had faced, she could at least offer them some comfort, some respite from their pain, and a glimpse of hope amidst the shadows of despair. And so, under the solemn watch of the forest, Adriella the mage became Adriella the healer. After the merchant's sighs of relief receded into the forest, Adriella continued her journey, leaving them to recover. She had felt a disturbance deeper within the woodland, a sense of distress that was almost palpable. The forest had always been a part of the community. The forest weeps, I can feel it. Something is amiss. Following the invisible trail, Adriella ventured deeper into the woods, the trees thickening around her, their branches arching overhead as if trying to shield her from whatever was causing the forest's unrest. Every step, every rustling leaf seemed to echo the forest's disquiet. The forest's voice led her to a clearing, and what she saw there struck her to the core. A treant, one of the forest's oldest guardian, lay fallen, its majestic form marred by vicious cuts and teeth marks. As it lay, its life essence faded away. She knelt down to the fallen treant, her hands gently brushing over its splintered bark. Closing her eyes, she concentrates, drawing on the arcane energy that buzzes in the air around her. By the forces that meld the cosmos, let thy wounds undo. Chanting the incantation, she allows the arcane magic to flow, a visible shimmer of the energy radiating from her palms to the injured treant. There's a reaction. The gnarled bark shivers, fractured pieces moving slowly, knitting themselves back together. But in the world where magic is a beacon, her actions do not go unnoticed. The distinctive aura of healing magic permeates the air, attracting unwanted attention. A bone-chilling moan pierces the silence, followed by the rustle of decaying leaves under shambling feet. They can sense the magic. I must prepare. Drawing on her magic reserves, Adriella conjures a protective barrier, a shimmering shield of force around herself, just in time as an undead horde drawn to the magic shamble out of the undergrowth, their vacant eyes glinting in anticipation. She's besieged. The undead are relentless, throwing themselves against her shield, the force of their assault making it flicker and spark. The battle is fierce. Adriella is a fortress of calm within the chaos, her magic maintaining the protective barrier, but she can feel her energy dwindling and the undead's relentless assault threatening to breach her defenses. And then caught within the pandemonium, she transforms into a conduit of magic, her entire being devoted to maintaining her shield while launching an offense. Her hands dance with complex motions, calling upon a repertoire of spells as diverse as a magical spectrum. A chilling incantation escapes her lips and a surge of cold blue energy spirals towards the horde. It bursts into a flash of frost, crystallizing the undead into an icy tableau of frozen dread. But the horde's being vast, she calls upon another spell, unfazed. The words weave an intricate tapestry in the air, sparkling with incandescent energy, followed by arcs of radiant energy leaping from her fingers, searing through the advancing undead, reducing them to piles of ash. She starts to chant, a melody of arcane syllables that resonate within the rhythm of the universe, and in her palm, a globe of radiant energy forms, pulsating with a gentle hum of life and the raw power of destruction. The glow from her hand brightens, outshining the eerie pallor of the undead horde. It is not merely a spell, but a symbol of hope, of life prevailing over death. May the light cleanse and purge, the shadow has no place here. With a determined gesture, she hurls the sphere into the mists of the undead, the air crackling in its wake, and upon impact, it detonates in a blinding burst of radiant energy, the shockwave washing over the undead, their ghastly forms sizzling and disintegrating under the purifying light. And then, where the horde once stood, only ashes remain, scattered by the wind. Yet, for every undead felled, another took its place. Her shield begins to flicker, the sustained onslaught weakening her defenses. She can feel her magic reserves draining, her energy ebbing, and she remains defiant. Her body is tired, but her spirit remains unbroken. She won't give up, not when there's so much at stake. Then from the tree line, a figure emerges, a small halfling, her green cloak bending with the foliage, but the energy around her is colossal, a vortex of raw, unbridled power. Ellis Marta, the halfling druid of Canlock. This has gone too far. This ends now. With a wave of her staff, Elise commands the energies of nature, her magic echoing the strength of the storm above. From the earth, thorny vines sprout and grow at an alarming rate, their thorns gleaming wickedly under the stormy skies. They twist and writher, reaching for the undead, entangling them, dragging them down into the earth. With a sigh of relief, Adriella collapses, her magical shield dissolving, but she's now safe. They're both safe. Elise, with her profound connection to nature, has turned the tide of the battle. A formidable ally and an even greater friend has joined the cause. They discovered that the treant had been corrupted. However, its spirit had now been soothed by the combined magic of Adriella and Elise. They stepped back, watching the malevolent glint in the eyes fade, replaced by the ancient wisdom it once possessed. It turns away, retreating deeper into the forest, leaving behind a scene of halted devastation and a profound sense of relief. Rest now, old one. Let the forest heal thy wounds. Adriella and Elise returned to Canlock as the first light of dawn struck across the sky. The town, having spent a night in apprehensive silence, erupted in relieved cheers. The mage and the druid, standing at the heart of their community, share a knowing look. They know that their shared understanding of magic and nature had been the saviour of the night. Remember, the essence of magic is understanding and harmony. We prove that tonight. Back in her sanctum, the young mage stares at the arcane symbols that grace her books. She knows that the magic within is part of the universe's grand dance, and that it is as beautifully complex as its harmonies. And she is eager to learn more about this dance, for it is her life's purpose. A new day, a new dance. Let's see what the universe has in store for me today. And that, humble listeners, is all we have time for today. Remember, if you're enjoying these stories, feel free to leave a comment, like and subscribe to the channel.